Most people who are serious about the use of their task management paper planner or app realize that they're managing more tasks now than they were last year. But COVID-19 is not to blame, right? Instead, ambitious people with lots of goals, projects, and tasks are always adding more to their plates. They're a little bit like Energizer bunnies. The more tasks they can handle, the more they want to handle. Unlike others who may take a rest, their ambitions grow as they become more capable. Therefore, they're always asking themselves, am I using the right combination of soft and hard components, behaviors, habits, and practices, the soft stuff, planners, apps, and devices, the hard stuff? They know that to get stuck in one place with the same system for too long just won't work. They're actually afraid of getting stuck with a task management system that has not kept up with the rest of their lives. Most of them actually know what that's like. The overwhelm, the procrastination, the missing of the deadlines, the email overload, all the symptoms of poor task management. We just want to get back to the times when we were just starting out, when everything we tried seemed to help, seemed to work. We were excited about trying new stuff because we could see ourselves getting better from one day to the next. But here's the challenge. Once you get past the beginner stage of task management, how do you find the optimal improvements you need to make? Do you listen to your friends? Do you follow social media? Hire an expensive coach? Take another class? Read a book? Reread a book? Reread it again? Do you go copy an entire system that someone recommends to you because that's what they're using? Do you go on Reddit or Quora and say, help? How do I find the best improvements to make at this point? Or do you double down on an approach that actually is no longer working the way it once did and just try harder? Thanks to the internet, we have lots of choices. But unfortunately, even with all that exposure, we don't have a lot of direction. It's frustrating. But there's a better way to go about making improvements that don't actually involve random searches for shiny new objects. These methods give you a scientific way to make improvements one step at a time so that you can experience the excitement of making continuous changes one after another that adds up to a series of wins and some real momentum, even though you're not a beginner. But you can actually recapture that feeling you had of making steady progress. Remember how proud you felt when you were able to move from one level to the next? So today I want to share a simple method with you that will help you gain some powerful insights into the state of your current task management. Compare it against best-in-class examples and indicate where you should begin some immediate improvement. Fortunately, it doesn't involve reading a book or spending time in a classroom or hiring an expensive coach. Furthermore, it will give you the confidence you want from having a plan that's custom built for your needs. It's an inside-out approach rather than one that's based on the occurrence of random external triggers. This approach has completely transformed the hundreds who've attended my live training because they can finally ignore the noise coming from the outside and they can focus on the single most important changes they need to make right now. With this method, they actually look to implement specific targeted improvements to the soft and the hard sides of their task management that will make the biggest difference. The program I'm going to share with you today, which uses this approach, is called MyTimeDesign Rapid Assessment, and it consists of a simple 4-step process made up of assessments, fillable forms, skill building, and a community of learners ready to give you feedback. But these are not new steps, right? Other trainings actually have the same steps. What makes this method different? Well, maybe you've noticed that most of the advice being given in the area of task management falls into one or two buckets. First bucket are folks who suggest soft and hard elements that you've already tried. Soft, behaviors and practices, and hard, apps, software, planners. Second bucket are those who tell you that you should replace your current system with the one they're using. So, two buckets. And as I mentioned, this was good advice when you were just starting out. Setting aside those buckets because they no longer work for you. How about a different approach that helps you analyze your current task management system, your entire setup? In other words, maybe you need to do what doctors, car mechanics, and coaches do every day. A great diagnosis. Capital G, capital D. Great diagnosis. So when you do a great diagnosis, which is essentially an analysis plus an interpretation, you're taking an inside-out approach, right? You're starting where you are right now, gaining quality insights, then applying improvements based on your findings. We have actually woven this approach into MyTimeDesign Rapid Assessment, which helps you analyze your current task management system and determine how to build a plan of improvement that covers several months. And this method works for everyone or anyone who is serious about their task management, whether they've read tons of books, done a lot of research, or they're just discovering how important this part of their life is to their future and their success. All you need is a willingness to examine your current methods of task management through a very different lens, a diagnostic lens, using the best practices established by researchers from several fields, academic researchers. MyTimeDesign Rapid Assessment gives you 13 online evaluations, which take about 20 minutes to complete. With the results, you conduct an analysis of your entire system. And don't worry, we'll show you how to do this analysis and how to build your skill at doing better analysis in the future. Along with the feedback you get from a virtual community of other people who are taking the program, you can set up a plan to target specific elements of your system. The big difference is that you're no longer working on the components of task management separate and apart from each other. And you're not trying to find the person with the perfect system for you to follow. Now you're working on your entire system as a whole, which means you are learning how the components interact with each other so that you can make some very skillful, precise, almost like surgical interventions. Now, by now you may be wondering, who am I and why am I making this offer? I'm Francis Wade, and I've spent the last couple of decades working in task management and time blocking. After teaching programs for the first 5 years, I noticed that people had a lot of difficulty implementing what was then one-size-fits-all training. That's all I taught for the first 5 years. They'd make some initial improvements. They'd hit a ceiling and not be able to go any further. At that point, they'd flounder. They tried to get back the fun feeling in which they're getting better all the time, becoming more productive at the same time. Some would take more courses, read more books, hire a coach. To no avail. None of it would work. All the things I mentioned before. And this led me to do some serious research and to write Perfect Time-Based Productivity. It has over 200 references to peer-reviewed academic papers. And it's also the reason why I created MyTimeDesign Rapid Assessment, a way for you to assess your current system on your own without investing a lot of time and money. With great analysis, feedback from me and others, you can create a plan that targets your specific growth areas. But don't take my word for it. Read through the page, you'll find testimonials from other people who have used the same approach to analyze their system, come up with a customized plan of improvement. They're now busy implementing them and accomplishing goals in their lives that delight and inspire them. You might call this a minimalist approach to making improvement rather than a scattergun approach. So if you're ready to be excited again about improving your task management in ways that change your life for the better, MyTimeDesign Rapid Assessment will help you do that. In a matter of 20 minutes, you could have your profile finished and be ready to begin your analysis, maybe for the very first time. Just click on one of the links on this page and register for the program. Sign up for the program, and if you sign up, you'll get not only the evaluations I mentioned, the forms, and the membership in the community, but you'll also get 3 bonuses. First bonus is a download of my ebook, Bill's Imperfect Time Management Adventure. It's actually a business fable which describes the journey an engineer in New Jersey takes as he discovers on his own the same principles used in the MyTimeDesign Rapid Assessment. You may relate to his experience just a little, as someone who is serious about your task management and realize that your experience isn't so strange, isn't so unusual after all. Second, you'll be able to attend 2 Q&A webinars in the next few months. It's just for folks interested in rapid assessments, and I'll be answering your questions submitted ahead of time as well as taking live questions. This means that the nagging thoughts that you have about your task management can be answered in a discussion so that you don't remain confused or frustrated by challenges that come up. Finally, you'll also get a copy of the audio version of my book, Perfect Time-Based Productivity. And this is the text which outlines the details of the training that the MyTimeDesign Rapid Assessments is built on. It's the next best thing to sitting right beside me in a classroom, which means that you'll get a detailed explanation of the research behind this approach. You won't have any concerns about where this thinking is coming from. It's coming from the training of hundreds of live participants, and it's also coming from academic research. On top of all that, you'll get a 30-day, 100% money-back guarantee. So you have lots of times to get the benefit of the MyTimeDesign Rapid Assessment. And if you're not happy for any reason, I'll give you a complete refund. So I hope you join me. Click on one of the buttons on this page to join us today, and I'll see you inside.